Hello everyone and welcome back to Wargame Red Dragon. Today we have a 1v1 against Heinz. We've played before. I think one time he was playing as Israel and I was trying out, I think it was Yugoslavia. This time I'm playing as Baltic Front, but specifically as Baltic Front Motorized, and the opener does reflect that as I'm trying to get as quick as I can through to Anna. A bit of a mismicro on my part, telling them to go up here instead of over to the right, which is going to slow down my approach to the town up to the upper right. But then over on the right-hand side toward Boris, I'm pushing a whole big column. So this is most of my points. And, I mean, I've got musties, I've got all different sorts of infantry, recon, I have a Rom, I have a Pion, a couple charioteers, Salamandra, and a Sokol supporting just to see if we can do any sort of screening, any sort of anti-helicopter or anti-early movements sort of stuff. My opponent is, by the way, playing as a Blue 4 mechanized deck, so I didn't really know quite what to expect for his overall strategy, but I knew it would be relatively slow on his feet, or at least that was the hope. They do have a couple fast units, particularly the French AMX-10 RCSBs, but we have a Gazelle Canon over here, and I only have a lowly Pion. I figured this guy could at least do some sort of scouting, and then as I got additional points, I could go and flesh that side out while advancing on the right. So, the Sokol and Salamandra spot a lonely Zelda, itself just worth 5 points, but probably carrying something, I don't know. It was pretty clear at this point he wasn't pushing in Boris, and this was actually really goofy, so poor unfortunate infantry there. But if we look at the neutral, we went different directions entirely. So we both had some stuff toward Anna. I sent a whole lot toward Boris. He sent a whole lot toward Feder, and we really just went right past each other. It was kind of amazing. But my Sokol is going to move up and just cautiously use those rocket pods to kill lonely Rova 890. I don't know why I got so close. I should have better range than that on him, I think. Yeah, 2,100 meters, but, you know, you do you, my friend. I gave an attack order, which you're never supposed to do, but still. We have gotten to most of our positions here, and I started to see a quad stack of NM45s. These guys are just 15-point autocannon jeeps, basically. Well, yeah, basically jeeps. So they're scooting along, doing their thing and all that, having a good time, trying to kill my base. And a single PT-76B is basically all that stands between them and my home zone. The fortunate thing there is, though, that I have the PT-55 over here, I have another PT-76B over that way, and I have a Sokol, which won't really be that good against these guys because I don't have anything long range able to take him out. But the other PT-76 is shooting in. My first one, his armor's holding up surprisingly well against those autocannons. He does go down, yeah, but you know, 15 points, so not really the worst thing yet, and now the Pion and the 76B can get a couple kills. Meanwhile, we have another Pion on the way, just trying to get as much scouting as I could. This guy was already purchased. He was actually supposed to head toward Anna, but, you know, repurposed. Should do fine with that, and there is still one left. So we got 3. Nice explosion. We got 3, but there's one left, and I really don't have that much here. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, I could push all of this in and just go right for his home zone. And if we take a look at neutral, it's quite possible I should have done that. But I'd be running into M163 CSs. These guys are wonderful at killing infantry. There's a trap with Rovate in the woods. It's easy lanes for bombers, things like that. And, you know, I'm fine just holding this. I don't think he's really going to be able to push it without significant investment. And right now we're getting value going this way. So KT is able to get a beautiful, beautiful kill. Or was it the Pion? Not really sure. And Reniko and the KTs need to retake this territory here. We have a forward hold in Boris. I have a decent enough hold in Anna. If I can push back toward Feder, my game plan was basically, if I can push back toward Feder, take this section here, take the town, and then do that really annoying thing on this side of the map where it's really, really flippin' difficult to knock you out of the end of Feder, then I should be able to, on balance, win, right? So if I hold Boris, if I hold Anna, if I can test Feder, that's a winning points ticking sort of situation. God, don't know what to call it. Anyway, KTs were in a forward position, did pretty well actually. A couple kills on, it looks like, transports, not really able to get the things inside of them. Actually, that was M163 CS, I think. But they do need to move back because you never want them ahead of Yekri and just sitting. So I'm still working on really using these guys to their fullest. They are 20 points each now, which means that you really have to get something out of them. And just sitting guard is not really enough. So I don't know, I think my opener was a bit cleaner this time around than it has been sometimes, so hopefully I'm getting a little better, but I'm certainly not able to follow up on it as well as I would like. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here and it's just sitting. Annoyingly sitting, but sitting nonetheless. And you can see my opponent Heinz has capped Dimitri, and now there's a push into this open zone here. NM135s. These guys, I mean, I like them a lot. 10 points, mechanized transports, good autocannon. Unfortunately, they won't be able to kill KTs, but they will be able to put quite a hurt on expensive infantry. I mean, 6 each left out of 70 points of infantry, and I'm immediately calling out a resupply vehicle. I need to heal these guys up and use them to clear the woods as quickly as I can. In the meantime, one of my cheap PT-76s does go down, but the Pions over this way. I also have Musties over this way, and I have a nicely placed, well, in my own opinion anyway, group of CC in the town in Anna. That's just going to give me excellent scouting along all this. The T-55 can scout as well, but better safe than sorry. Down goes one AMX, the other one has 1 point left and is panicked, but I think my Pion might start shooting at the Lards. I'm not really sure. No, actually, swing and a miss. Oh, that was really unfortunate. 80% chance to hit, but a miss on the RC, and he's going to be moving back and out of the way. HH-10 was a bit of a panic buy. I figured if the Pion fails to stop those AMXs, he might be able to do something good, but a little bit of a waste on Lards. I mean, yeah, it'll get kills, but was it worth it? And meanwhile, we are doing pretty well holding the line here. So normally the way mechanized, particularly I think unspec mech that has to rely on weight of numbers instead of prototype units, has to do this is they have to grind you out in terms of value, and what we're trying to do right now is outvalue a mechanized deck with a motorized deck, which it's a bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see if it works out for him, but so far, not entirely terrible. You can see Iroquois Yekri, maybe not the best choice here unsupported, because I mean, I have 2 XA-180s, but that's basically it. I was expecting to be able to use the Spike team, which I know should be in the farther group. That was a bit of a mistake, didn't realize at the time. To support across that open area, and then potentially push through it there as well. But Yekri are doing pretty well on the open ground, and this was beautiful. So, well, I don't know, it was kind of. The Musties had previously gotten some good kills, but now they're going to start shooting at Rovait, and Merkava 2As are going to just demolish them. These guys are brutal, 90-point transports, and I'm a little bit annoyed that Blue 4 can get them in an unspec deck. So what we do have is we have a couple of callouts of some Fagot teams, just standard 10-point Fagot teams, and the buy gives me both an ATGM in my backline here to scare things off, as well as an MI-17 with Snebs to handle any wayward infantry. And you can see the Rovait are kind of pulling back, Fusiliers behind them kind of pulling back. I'm not really entirely sure why. I think had he pushed in then, it would have been bloody, but he might have been able to do it. So my Pion wasn't in position, my Fagot team was not in position, the Ruskazin Korima will do a decent job at fending things off, but he still would have been able to take these woods here and hold it with infantry that they couldn't see for that long. So I think that was it. I think that was the opportunity in the early game for the mechanized player to get ahead of me just in terms of sheer value. But we do have now pretty deadly concave here. Ranico should be getting healed. I didn't mean to miss that a little bit. I pushed him up just to secure the woods, and you can see the KPI is on the move. KT is moving forward, and the Pions just inching this cordon a little bit closer toward the town that we do intend to be focusing on for the rest of the match. Artillery is also coming in, so last known position of the Yekri was right here, and smack, yeah, let's see, a little bit of overshoot, but yeah, I'm not really sure. Sometimes it's weird when you try and target a particular town, it's a little bit difficult to get right on it if you can see a unit when you're targeting, which if that was a second volley, that could have been the case before they pulled back. Long aim time maybe, not really sure, but I don't know, not the best clustering on that. Pion moving forward, we spot some Gewehrmen, and this tells me, okay, well, my opponent holds this town, probably holds this woods, probably has some stuff in through here. It's really important the Ranico get healed, and I'm going to need more before I can do anything about it. But Iraq 91 is opening up on Dimitri, and my intention is just to hit his staging area. Even if I don't kill a lot, it might be good to just stun and panic a lot. And actually, if we switch back to neutral, we can see that is unfortunately what's happening. So the Merkava 2A is taking a tiny bit of damage, but really not that much, and some Rovait getting stunned, some Fusiliers getting stunned. Okay, that was a good smack on the Rovait, but these guys are just 10 points each, so really not the most value out of that, not even a kill. And I haven't mentioned it yet, but I did have some wayward charioteers making it all the way back here, and this is, we'll keep an eye on them. They have some adventures. It's a good time. But we are going to be capping Boris, moving the Rom up as well, and a Pion up to here, just trying to secure this straightaway. I think I tried to park him. Ooh, looks like I missed a little bit. I wanted him right there so that he could look down that highway. But a bit of a swing and a miss. That's what you get for giving the order from all the way up here, but I don't know. Yeah, that's horrible. Penalties of playing that high up. Sometimes it's great. You get great map awareness, but the precision is a little bit lost, so swing and a miss. What can you do? In the meantime, however, I am bringing up some Yekri and KTs, just cheap Yekri 90 rather, in KTs, about 30 points per, so 90-point buy right there. It adds up. I mean, it's part of the reason that mechanized is so much more efficient, is you don't spend all that much money for wheels when what you really want is a gun. But we do spot an M1 Abrams, and this guy, I mean, relatively cheap, 65 points, but 15 frontal armor isn't bad for the price. and he doesn't need much AP here. I mean, it's a motorized deck. My opponent knew it was motorized since this is normal, not ranked, and well, armor could often be more important because it means he'll be able to tank ATGM shots a little bit better. Well, tank them. He'll be able to deal with Rescas and Korima a little bit better, and he'll be able to make my own tank weapons ineffective at range. So, pretty good decision there. My charioteers have gotten into the back in Elena, but my Ranoko Yekri are intercepted by Geverman and trying to get back, but we're getting shot at by the town as well, and it'll be lucky if I can get anything out of here. Also, ATGM team right there, it looks like, in the long building. Great positioning because you can see all the way through here with minimal exposure, but one KT does get killed for free, 20 points down the toilet, and this I think was another ATGM team as well moving up. So really we're just sort of staging right now. Pion is shooting in there, and it doesn't look like that was a hit. Yeah, no, unfortunately a bit of a miss. Pion's nearly dead. Can we get out? And yes, we do get out. And my Ranoko, this was brutal. I mean, Ranoko Yekari, 35 points for this group, and they're getting nearly killed by a Zelda. So we do take him out with the other Ranoko and then sort of consolidate here. And I think most of the action was now going to be on the left side of the map. The right side, let's see, on my end we have a pretty nice concave, well not concave, a line anyway, front line. And on his side he has a defensive line farther back. It's very clear that the fight is going to be over the center zone and in Fetter. So that's, I don't know, sometimes it just seems to work out that way, where people sort of come to their own conclusion on where they want to play. But Merkava 2A is getting pounded again, Jupiter getting hit as well. We got some decent damage on him with that volley, and also one on the Abrams. Looks like we did kill the Fusiliers. No, they're forward. So still not the best, but if anything it does just delay him, and I mean, so far no counterfire. Every time that rack shoots, they'll be able to have the chance of gaining back some of his value. But here come the Fusiliers. Fusiliers 90 will outduel my Yekri when my Yekri are in the open and outnumbered to boot. So that L86 shooting in, and I'm just trying to get back, but we're stunned just at the edge of the woods. Mortar team shooting in, and there we are, home free, for now anyway. But that was pretty risky business. My charioteers are back there. They have 121 fuel left, which I thought would go farther than it did. But, well, I will move them in just a second. We did get a kill, I think, with them already. It's a little hard to see. Yep, there it is. It's another one of those NM trucks, base defense from Heinz, so he does know they're back there. Might not know what they are or why they aren't attacking, but he knows. He knows they're back there, and that's alright. We have run out of resupply, very nearly anyway, and the Radical are moving forward. Geverman as well, and this was a brutal, brutal fight. So my Yekri engaged first, then the Radical on the side, and my Yekri are getting killed, so down to 7. Geverman really doing an excellent job with that AG3 and MG3 tertiary, but the Ranico are keeping on that sustained fire. Yekri cycled out, and a new group moving up to engage, and we're going to get all of those men dead very, very quickly. Yeah, brutal, brutal fight. And a significant number of points there for the infantry. I mean, not terrible, but again, just trying to incremental value against a mechanized deck was a hell of a time. Ito 90 coming up just because I'm tired of this Gazelle Canon, and if I can push up here a little bit, I might be able to ward him off. Charioteer has gotten another kill in the back, but they're just about to run out of fuel. Let's see, 11, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3... and there they're going to sit until they get killed, because they have no fuel and no possibility of resupply that far back in Elena. My opponent's CV, just looking at it after the fact, was somewhere around here-ish in the woods. So, I mean, if I had driven in, we would have at least had to make him move it. Not that they would really be able to kill an Ox 3 Pakud that well, but lesson learned. I thought it was going to be in the back quarter, but that might be a little bit too predictable to have been true. So Sokol did move up briefly, trying to see if the Gazelle was going to move back. The fact that he didn't move his Gazelle is why I retreated the Sokol. I thought to myself, you know, if he was worried about those Iglos, he'd move this guy. The fact that he's not means that if my Sokol keeps going, it's probably going to be a trap. So we're not going to do that. Instead, a light probing attack here. XA-180 is attacked and stunned, but the KTs do get a kill on Commando's Para. Very, very nice there, and they are going to have to move back as we start to get hit by something. Turns out it was an AMX, French 40-point tank, and he's made up his value, I think. 1 kill, and might be able to get the second. A little unclear. Actually, the Charioteers are firing in and kill a couple Zeldas. So we have disrupted Heinz's reinforcements even just a little bit, which is kind of hilarious. Swing and a miss there. Let's take a look. I mean, they still have 59 shots left. That's a lot. And yep, killed another Zelda. Rear shot there too. Not bad. See if we can get a third. I wasn't sure what was in these, but maybe they're just empty? There aren't any infantry hopping out, at least none that I can see. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, there's infantry. There's too far away for the horrible optics. Look at that. Bad optics in the charioteer. Can't see Rovi that far away. That's the importance of scouting right there. I'll tell you. We did have another little attempted push on Feder, but it has gone awry, and now here comes Heinz straight down the pipe. M1 Abrams, supported by a couple Merkava 2As, and yeah, he wants the center town, smoking in front of it to prevent my Fagot team from helping out, so very nice play there, but there still is just a little bit of a line that we are going to shoot through, and goes right into the smoke, so no luck. My Yagri are isolated, panicked, well, worried, about to be panicked. M1 does go down though, so the Spike team did get his worth there, 65 points off of that kill, and now we have the Fagot team on the side firing in, soon be having the Pions moving up as well, and shooting in, does deny the Geverman and their transports that frontal forest. And this is interesting. I mean, here's the thing about holding here. I've seen a lot of players just try to hold right there, and they'll put a CV in the town, they'll put a CV in the forest. It's so hard to not get it killed, and geez, my Heracles just got melted. That was insane. But, you know, if you're in this tiny little area, you're going to get pounded by artillery, your CVs are going to die. I think it's better sometimes just to push all the way through, and we can see a couple of replays ago, I think Grim did do that on this channel, so I'm putting my money where my mouth is there anyway, but MiG-29 comes in, looking for the F-15, no luck, single shot did hit though, so he is damaged, but not able to get the kill before I had to retreat out, and my opponent does hold the center ground, so this is going to be a bit of an issue. Raskis and Korima are getting some nice support in, Kartan Yakri called, and lots of supporting vehicles as well, and now we're going fully around in Boris. So Yakri, Raniko Yakri leading the way, and we did spot enemy infantry here. They killed one of my groups of Raniko because I wasn't paying attention on the side, I was paying attention in the center, but we are able to find those commandos and just surround them and take them out utterly and completely. So we do get some revenge there for my dead men, but it was a steep price to pay. Raskis and Korima moving up a little bit too far. I called in reinforcements before I lost this position. So I wanted these guys to unload right here and to shoot in across the way with those long-range guns, but unfortunately no luck, and the panic and stun is going to prevent them from getting that nice supporting fire, which is the reason that I had called them in the first place. Artillery also is going to seal the doom of my CC, but hopefully we can get the Rovaid first. I'm not really sure, and my Spike team really needs to retreat, but there's a lot going on, and I didn't quite manage it. KRKK also does get killed, but you can see we are getting some good value here. Well, some anyway. And we're at least not giving up the position for free, which is nice. Given long enough, I might be able to claw that back, but it's going to be tough. And so the Yakri KRKK is not the best choice moving up in the forest. The 3050s have too much armor for those frag rounds to do anything more than just panic, but we are able to take them out, and this was a brutal attack. So the RAK 91 went in trying to prepare this town for my advance. Commandos para down to 17, commandos down to 15. Rovi are fine. I think we did kill another unit of infantry, or at least stun them. There was an ATGM team in the center town, and I think we did kill that, at least. So, I mean, better than nothing. And they're panicked, they're worried. We're moving forward with Kartan Yakri, more Yakri, Raskis and Korima on the side, and a couple of musty trucks. So I was trying to see if I could push them out just a little bit. I have switched my settings to now attack resupply vehicles so that Jupiter is not safe. Kartan Yakri moving forward a little bit bold. I was hoping supporting fire from the KTs would allow him to get to the town on time, and they do unfortunately die, but if we take a look, the Rovi down there are, I mean, they're down to one. I'd hoped for the kill at the last second, but couldn't get it, and the Syria just loses line of sight on a couple of those Merkava 2As before he's able to swing in and get the kill there. My infantry are getting shredded. This was brutal, but I'm hoping if I can push through it, we can at least get into the town. I really need to take this position. 20 minutes left. Halfway through the game, in comes a Kurnos, electro-optical missiles, trying to fend off the push, and brutal success there, but actually a bit more friendly fire than even kills on me. I think he'd expected to lose that position, and I don't think he would have. But as it is, most of his infantry are dead, and it was his own guns that did the work for the most part, so that has to feel kind of not great. Musties and KRKKs are about all I have left. Raskis and Korima, and the next wave moving up, a couple of KTs and Musties, as well as more reinforcements to be called out soon, but I was sitting there going, okay, well, this is maybe not going so well. I still have Boris, I still have a nice line here, but I haven't been able to push him out of Anna, I haven't been able to push into Feder, and it's a little rough. So I wasn't really quite sure what to do. My Musties and KRKKs are taking as forward position as they can, but that's just leaving them open to get shot by the lovely anti-tank weapons on a couple of units left in those woods. This is what I wanted, right? So they shoot in, but now we have the Pion, Musty, 180, a couple of KTs, and my last Renico and Rescas and Korima might be able to get something done. Double squad of Commandos Para shooting in, just being an absolute pain in my ass here, holding the town to the last man. But if we can just get it, it would be pretty nice. KRKK tried to move up to this forward woods to see if I could go up there, and upon his death, the Pion's going to stop and retreat back to that rear position. I want to keep him alive more than I want him to get one more kill, because if he stays alive, at least I can have him defend against further pushes into Anna, should I really sort of lose control there. AH-1F Cobra, nice call in here. I do love these guys as well. I use a pretty close equivalent whenever I play as Blue Dragons, and they are absolutely brutal, but artillery also coming in, and yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I think this was just to fend off my next wave, if anything. My Rescues and Korima now are encountering the Mistral teams. Fighting them hand-to-hand is going to be brutal, and the Musty weapons should help these guys make that relatively quick. But that AH-1F Cobra, my only answer is Iroquois Yekri, and they have to get the perfect line of sight. So we'll see. If he goes up a little bit further, we might be able to get it, but we actually do lose track of him. And a double squad of M1 Abrams is going to be really rough to deal with. Another Kurnos coming in, those semi-active missiles, oof. This is going to be nasty. And yeah, all of my Rescas and Korima are dead. Now, they aren't the most expensive, but I really was looking forward to taking that town, and I wasn't quite able to get it done. So I do need better air defense than I've had. Another bomber coming in, and that bomber is what told me, yeah, okay, I need something in here better than what I've got, because this is getting kind of outrageous. My Renico trying to get to the town. Double stack of M1 Abrams are going to have something to say about that, though, and down they go. So I've lost a lot there to attrition. Rovait and Geverman also moving up, so fresh infantry for that frontal town, as Heinz is just keeping up the pressure. It was brutal to play against. I was sitting there going, how the hell does he have more? I'm scrambling to reinforce both sides. I thought I was getting some kills, and yet it was just more and more and more and more and more. It was terrifying to play against, so really nice offensive pressure from Heinz there. I thought several times I was going to just lose Anna outright if I didn't hold him off just that little bit more. So, Iroquois Yekri are moving up. I was hoping to get the recon infantry into the town, and I don't know about you guys, sometimes when I click on, no, just get into the town, they seem to walk the other direction. It's a little weird. But my KT is going to get caught out here, and looks like, yes, beautiful, beautiful vision. This is what recon infantry can do when they're at their best. I don't know why they weren't shooting there at the Geverman in the open field, but maybe it's just a little bit obstructed. Iroquois Yekri getting isolated and killed, pushing too far up there, but we did fend off that vehicle, and down goes my other KT. So, still looking a little bit grim. I didn't want to get the XA-180 Copa up here, but MI-17, this is that Sneb helicopter. Just brutal, brutal work there against those 10-point autocannon trucks. And, I mean, when they're supporting an M1 Abrams, that's no small kill, so that was pretty nice. I think Pion able support over in Anna, and we have held them at bay once again, which is all we need to do for right now. Syria coming in, gets a kill on an Abrams. Not both, unfortunately. I do like planes that have 4 instead of 2 for that reason. We can get better kills on less cost-effective tanks, and had he moved up, he would have encountered CC, who don't have the best, but 18 AP power is going to be enough to really get that kill there. Dragunov shooting in at Geverman, but I really need these Iroquois Yekri to move back. I need them to survive. Pion supporting, and I was surprised he wasn't killed as well. I think maybe my enemy's planes were on cooldown, so no luck there for my opponent. But Iroquois Yekri down to 3 men, fighting pretty well. I needed them to retreat one more time, though, and we have secured with the Copa, so we are finally getting a +1, 16 points to 2, and the +1 immediately calls in this Abrams to mess with my shit, as well as the Kurnos. So we do take down the Kurnos, and that was pretty nice, but down goes my command vehicle. So, I mean, we got a trade at least. I got the Kurnos. It wasn't free, but that was 100-some points there that I really would have rather not have die. So if we look on this side, another Fagot team moving up, Rescas and Korima on this side, and now we do have some, not spam, right? Support. I shouldn't have moved them up that far. I should have known the Merkava 2As would be a little bit brutal, but Kurnos coming in, forward position, Ito 90 shooting at him, just not able to get the second shot, third shot coming in, and the fact that he got out will never cease to vex me. But Rack 91 also supporting against what I sensed was going to be another push, the SU-57 moving a bit too far up, first one getting shot, but I mean, he ate a tank shot from that close, that's not bad. 5 frontal armor really is no slouch. And now we do have Kartnyekri moving up, trying to duel with those Geverman in the town on the left. Syria coming in, Swing and a miss on the Merkava 2As, each of them with only a couple points of health left. The 57s are brutal, and the Rack 91 also did get some work done. The fact that I wasn't able to get anything there really annoys me. I hate swings and misses with Syrias. That's kind of the worst, but it does happen, and you have to be aware that it can and will. So, Gartniekri are dueling the Geverman. I should have moved them up a little bit quicker, but we do have the next wave arriving as well. Quad stackers, Terra Musty trucks, surprisingly useful. 4 recoilless rifles can do a lot of work with that 16 AP. I think they're a little bit better than some other nations' choices. That's why I particularly love to take infantry in them as well, but that might just be because I like the faction. Hard to say. Anyway, so we have Ranico trying to push up here again, but support from the 57-2 should be able to help out against those Geverman, KTs as well, but they're almost out of ammunition, so not really able to help that much, but they are stunned. I think it's the 57-2, honestly, and if these guys can get into that town, that would be pretty nice. Sissy pushing up as well, just trying to get into those forward woods without being spotted, but mixed success there, and the M1 Abrams is making his advance again. Down goes KRKK, he killed a Musty truck as well, and I don't have all that much to stop him, so infantry immediately thrown forward, the Terra Musties sacrificially thrown forward, 65-point tank, quad stack of 10-point vehicles, and 15 points transport. Syria comes in, didn't even fire. I was so pissed. 2 in a row. I mean, I thought maybe I lost sight on the Abrams for a second, I'm not entirely sure, but we are actually able to get them for the price of a single Musty, so those recoilless rifles did brutal work. I think they shot, these guys shot from the front, but the transport shot from the side, and that is going to be really impactful. Infantry getting caught out in the open now, Commandos 90 not where they want to be, lots of Musties shooting in, Raskazin Korima supporting as well, and an ATGM team moving up on that side, so we are finally getting some leverage into Feder. My Sissy alive with a single point after they get shelled brutally. I probably watched the Sissy walk up into that position and didn't want any part of it. We do spot a Chaparral, but I have nothing that I can really kill it with, and my Pion, down to 2 tank shells remaining, is going to be resupplied, as is the rest in Kurima and Fago on that side. I did try some shenanigans over here, but it didn't end up really being that worthwhile, unfortunately, so we're not going to focus on it too much. In the meantime, we have Tiramustis and Reskazin Kurima trying to get into the forward woods. If I can get into here and sort of spread out through these woods, I'll get a bit more breathing room than I previously had. Spike team as well, trying to get up to the front ahead of those Kartniekri. Not sure where they're going. They're kind of being drunk. Yeah, that's the best way to get forward, is to just walk backwards. They fixed it now. Okay, very well. I wanted to project strength across this open ground to try to deny reinforcements in vehicles as well as potentially any reinforcing tanks, because I think my opponent had been having his reinforcements for free for far too long, and immediately one kill. It's just a 30-50. I actually did shell myself as well, which kind of sucked. I called in that shelling way earlier than it actually came in, but it didn't kill anything, which on the one hand great, on the other hand that means it doesn't kill stuff when I use it on my opponent too, so not really the best there, but we did get a lot of those vehicles down, and if we take a look, that's going to mean damaged infantry, Commandos 90 there as well. But Kurnos coming in once more, and kaboom, a little bit forward, actually only killed a single Musty, so maybe not the best bombing run. Previous bombing runs were pretty brutal, but artillery support now coming in, and my Spike team alive at 1 man. Captured MD Jupiter is going to be moving back, and the Terramusties as well, moving back, just trying to hold what we've got, as I have another Copa moving forward. So trying to countercap there again, only 10 minutes left, and if I lose 16-5, it's still a loss. So not really what I had wanted there. Need to get some points on the board sooner rather than later. HH10 moving forward as well, trying to screen out, see if I can get some M1 Abrams or things like that. And the Pion doing wonderful work as always. I don't think my opponent realized how far I could see up here, but it was definitely a very, very effective thing. So a couple of Commandos sparring with Terramusties should be good for the Commandos, except they missed their first shot as always. And now a Mistral team being spotted and taken out by a Pion, which has to be a brutal loss. Those guys are pretty expensive specialized infantry. They also mean, well, my HH10 was killed, so that's what allowed the Mistrals to be spotted, so I guess it wasn't for free. HH10s are 50 points, so more expensive than the Mistrals by a fair margin. Here's the 57-2, though. Stunning Commandos Para, and pretty good work, honestly. I really haven't used these guys all that much previously, but, I mean, they just killed enemy infantry out in the open. So, yeah, not going to hear any objections from me. And now we have some shelling coming in. My opponent's trying to figure out if I have more command vehicles just in the same spot as previously, and this is to make sure that he can't retreat, I think, just pounding the back corner. Actually, I think does kill my KPI, or at least, yeah, that's this volley. Does come right down and will, I think, land directly on the KPI. Oh no. Huh. Well, he's alive for right now. Let's see if that changes. But more infantry moving up in KTs, and I think right now I'm just trying to resupply. So I have a damaged group of Ranico holding more forward than I've been in a while. The ZSUs did a wonderful job pushing my opponent out there. But if I was Heinz, right now I'd be looking at this going, okay, well, Fetter's been counter-capped. It's going to be a nightmare trying to uncap that. If I were Heinz, I would push in through the center, and that is going to be what happens shortly. So Kurnos coming in again, and I'm moving. Well, I was about to move my Copa, I think. Here comes the missile. I should have assumed that if I had command infantry, they'd be right there, because I had a command vehicle. I could have parked it farther up, but as it was, he was taken out again, and this time, I mean, 34 to 16, that's within range of a draw, I think, still, but at least it is in my favor. And if I can get a couple more points, that might be worth something. So, even if it's just a counter cap as well, but I do lose a MiG-29 to an F-15J. I just kept them up too long, kind of embarrassing. They were trying to fend off a Kurnos, and I forgot to evac them out, so a bit of a mistake there. Mi-17 did take the long way around and is headed toward Elena, trying to get some kills on my opponent's stuff, but he is going to have pretty nice base defense. Even if we get something, it won't really be all that worthwhile. 35 points for the Mi-17. Let's take a look at those rocket pods, and can they even shoot? Yeah, actually, Rovi 90 are taken out by the first volley, 16 left, and I'm not sure they'll be able to get to use it. Oh, no, actually another Rovi kill, so hey, could have been worse. 20 points there. You can see I am getting another command vehicle in. We also have Reskis and Kurima moving up forward with KT support, trying to get through these woods, trying to get into the town on the backside of Feder, because, you know, if I can hold there, great. If I can get a CV, even better. So that's what we're looking for. Mi-17 trying to support as well against infantry in the woods here. It'd be hard to get an angle with them, but we may as well try. Better than nothing. And here comes another push. So Geverman moving forward, Merkava 2As. Only one of them left, but he has been healed up, and that is going to be pretty nice. So down go my Renako Yekri, and here comes, I think... Yeah, I'm not sure what that is, actually. Troop transports, that looks like more 30-50s. But we have now gotten the Renako around the side. KTs are weapons jammed, unfortunately, but Mi-17s dealing with Zeldas is pretty nice. These guys are, of course, the ones that have 3 guns, and they will stun even elite infantry moving across open ground. So denying those Zeldas a time to shoot might get my Renako into that town a little bit better, which could be the difference maker. So, Auxiliary Pikud spotted, my Pion's still doing excellent work. Reskis and Korima in the town, and here come the musty recoilless rifles. 4 damage off the first shot, and the Auxiliaries immediately move back and then move forward again, trying to get out of the range of those Reskis and Korima. Second shot, and here we have Assyria then to finish it off. The Reskis and Korima not able to get that kill on their own, but they kept it spotted long enough we could handle it and be fine. And that denies my opponent a cap and Anna, which would have given him a +1 even if I could take Feder. Well, even if I could countercap Feder anyway, and it would have been just... It would have put the onus on me to push him out instead of just to keep defending by the skin of my teeth. So that is what we are hopefully going to be able to do, is just keep defending by the skin of our teeth. The Rak 91 shooting in, trying to just flatten everything on that side. It was also in case I didn't quite finish off the Auxiliary, but Renako Yekri are in the back of that town and have chewed through some enemy infantry there. So, I mean, hey, that's pretty nice. These guys are just going to try to move across as quickly as they could. I probably should have split them and left a couple farther back, but AH-1F Cobra trying to get some good kills there. If he can catch them between towns, it will be pretty brutal, but if he can't, they might not be able to do all that much. So Renako just plopping 1, 2, 3, 4. It might even be faster just to move them across open ground, but yep, AH-1F Cobra shooting in. I'm trying to distract with KTs or even get a kill there, and there's the Auxiliary Pikud enemy command vehicle spotted, and if I can get one more, there it is, Apolos opening fire. Down goes the Auxiliary, and that is going to be a empty Feder, soon to be capped by my own command infantry there, and unfortunately with the loss of that command vehicle, that is going to be the end of the game. So, very well played to Heinz. It was a brutal, brutal fun game, and in terms of kills, losses, 27, 65 for me, 1940 for him. It certainly didn't feel that way on the board, so once again, just brutal, brutal attacking posture from Heinz was really stressful to deal with. In terms of tanks, well, in terms of units that did very well, the T-55 and Pion did so well I couldn't believe it afterwards. Look at that list of kills. NM45s, 15 points each, AMX-10 RC, 40 points each, 2 of them, a couple of trucks, Geverman 90, Zelda, NM135, more and more and more, even a Merkava 2A, 90-point vehicle right there, Commandos, Para, just beautiful. Beautiful work. A lot of it on reinforcements that went a little too far up before they really found where they were supposed to be. KTs also did get pretty nice kills, and Reniko, of course, will outduel infantry in woods decently well. The other Pion really holding the formation as well. Yeah, so pretty good game, pretty successful game. Spike teams did very well, and always a pleasure to play against Heinz, so I hope we can get that going again sooner rather than later. But that's all we've got for you guys today. Thank you all for hanging around, and we'll see you again real soon.